He's already in a difficult situation with the two already, but an Ouchi Gari scoring a Wazari.
So we're back here for another breakdown video. In this video, we're in the team event at the World Championships in 2019, and we have France versus Austria. Okay, we have the French player here in white. We are at the 1 minute mark. Okay, so there's a minute left in this match. France is down by a Wazari, but the Austrian player has 2 Shidos. Okay, so it's still anybody's game. Let's play this clip and see what happens. So the French player's pressing on him, drops, hits him with the drop Ouchi. This is a recent technique that's come around in Judo over the last couple years. A few people did it back in the 2016 quad, but now after 2016, it's really made a name for itself on the world circuit. A lot of players are starting to adapt it to their game. It's a very tricky technique. It's one that I've implemented in my randori sessions at my local club. You tend to catch a lot of people just off guard because they're not used to it. I'm not so sure it would be like a main staple, but it's definitely something that's like a nice to have in your back pocket, like an ace in the hole for, times like this where you just need to try to make something happen, and a lot of the stuff you've been doing hasn't been working, so you just throw something at them. That doesn't take a lot of practice. It's more based on feel. But let's take a look at this technique and see why it works. Okay, so first thing that's most important is we're getting a lot of pressure from the French player. Okay, we have a lot of momentum going back at this angle. Okay, and what's going to happen is that's going to cause the blue player to circle out to the back side. Okay, because he's pressing on him so hard, the Austrian player is going to look to get out of the way of that pressure so that he doesn't get pushed either out of bounds because there's this edge right here, or dropped on. So as we start to play this video forward a little bit, here we go, he's pushing, and right there, you can see the French player actually, because the Austrian decided not to circle off in this direction, what we're gonna see is the French player actually circle and do it himself. Okay, we need to see that rotation inside the situation so that we can hit that drop Ouchi Gari. Okay, without that, it's almost impossible to do. Okay, for this particular one where you drop down to that one knee and you hook the leg. So because the Austrian player is just gonna keep backing up, the French player is going to be circling off at this corner here. So here we go. We circle, circle, circle right there. This is kind of, I think, the first key thing you really want to pay attention to. And you can't see it necessarily here because the French players blocked it, but having done this technique in randori sessions before and caught in both left-handed and right-handed players with it, the one thing you want to focus on, and you can see it here from the French player's arm, is it's pulling down and it's putting weight on this leg. Okay, we've talked about this in the American Judo System videos where if you can put weight on one of your partner's legs with your hands and their body weight, you can manipulate them and bring a back leg forward. And that's what we're gonna see here from the French player is he does that and he's gonna start to use this hand to pull down, and it's gonna cause this foot to circle up into the front so that he can hook it. So if we play this nice and slow for you right here, boom, 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 boom. Really slow right there. You can see he's starting to pull everything down. And the Austrian players, as he's bending, he's trying to get his feet underneath him so he doesn't get pulled down to the ground. But what he doesn't realize is that's what gives him that hook, right? And he's pulled that back leg forward, okay? We can tell right here that the Austrian's feet are in that straight line stance, okay? That square stance position, which we never want to be in because it allows us to be thrown both forward and backwards. The French player is just choosing to go backwards. And you can see, look at this pull from the French player, right? He's still putting weight on this downside leg here, okay? This hand is going up and it's gonna start driving to that back corner because once you hook that leg, that collar hand or that hand on his neck, which the French player has right here, has to drive back into that corner, okay? And you can see that right there, as the Austrian goes to put that foot down, the French player is like, nope, he does a good job of using his hamstring to hook that foot. You can see that the French player is using his body, not his hands. Important detail when you're doing this technique is you use your core and your body to lean into the technique instead of just extension of the hands, okay? You really want to use gravity to your advantage in these positions so that when you're here, everything is coming down to the mat, okay? Both the Austrian player is going down into this section and the French player is going down into this section. So everybody's gravity weight, momentum is coming down into this technique. So as we start to see this move through, right there, you can see that turn, the rotation, and he gets a really good, solid score to pull himself back into this match. And then hopefully, yep, he ties the match with 51 seconds left. You know, he's got 2 Shidos. If anything, I'm going to assume the French player is going to win this match. You know, with 51 seconds, I'd hope that he could keep enough momentum and enough pressure to hopefully get the other Shido, or at least cause some mistakes by the Austrian player using the scoreboard to his advantage. So let's take a look at this one more time. You see the French player push. Austrian player decides not to circle. French player causes that circle himself so that he can pull that back leg forward and hit the drop Ouchi Gari.
He's already in a difficult situation with the 2 already, but an Ouchi Gari scoring a Wazari, so there was a bit more of a separation, up onto one, down onto one knee,